When people think of Genghis Khan, they often picture a ruthless conqueror who left a trail of destruction across Asia and Europe. But Genghis Khan wasn't just a brute force, he was a strategic mastermind whose brutal tactics were carefully designed to intimidate, conquer, and control. The story of how he turned a loose confederation of Mongolian tribes into one of history's most formidable empires is filled with cunning moves, psychological warfare, and unrelenting ruthlessness. Genghis Khan was born as Temujin in 1162 in the rugged Mongolian steppe. By his late teens, he was already facing intense challenges. His father had been poisoned by a rival clan, and his family was left to fend for themselves. But Temujin, determined to rise above the chaotic tribal warfare of Mongolia, eventually unified the Mongolian tribes under his leadership. In 1206, he took on the title of Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler, and set his sights beyond Mongolia. One of Genghis Khan's most terrifying tactics was psychological warfare. To him, war wasn't just about defeating an enemy on the battlefield, it was about instilling fear before his troops even arrived. When approaching a city, he would send an emissary offering the people a choice: surrender or face annihilation. Those who surrendered could often keep their lives, but those who resisted were met with brutal force. Once engaged in battle, Genghis Khan employed clever deception to keep his enemies off balance. During the invasion of Khwarezmia in 1219, he used a tactic that would become one of his trademarks. He divided his forces, creating the impression of a much larger army, and attacked from multiple directions, causing confusion among Khwarezmian forces. He even used dummies on horseback to create the illusion of additional troops, overwhelming his opponents with psychological as much as physical pressure. Genghis Khan also made use of spies and information networks. He would gather intelligence on enemy territories long before sending his troops in. For instance, during his campaigns in Persia, he sent spies to gather details on the layout of cities, the strength of the defenses, and the morale of the population. The Mongols' famous feigned retreat was another brutal tactic that left many armies in ruin. In battles, the Mongols would often pretend to flee, only to lead their opponents into traps or ambushes. At the Battle of Kalka River in 1223, the Mongols lured a joint Russian-Polovtsian army across a river by feigning retreat. When the pursuing army was scattered and disorganized, the Mongols turned and attacked, obliterating their enemy. Genghis Khan's brutality didn't end with tactics on the battlefield. After a victory, he would often kill or enslave entire populations as a warning to others. In Nishapur, after a Mongol commander was killed in a skirmish, Genghis ordered the entire population to be slaughtered, men, women, and children alike. Such acts were designed to terrify his enemies and prevent future uprisings. If you're intrigued by the life and tactics of Genghis Khan, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. Was he a visionary leader or a ruthless conqueror?